Serie A Atalanta BC vs Hellas Verona prediction, team news, lineups preview. Having stunned Europe by slaying Liverpool at Anfield, Atalanta BC will try to recover lost ground in Serie A when they host Hellas Verona on Monday evening. The Bergamo club scored 3 times without reply in the first leg of their Europa League quarter-final, but they had lost their 2 previous games and have plenty of work to do in domestic competition. Match preview. Perhaps topping their feats of recent years in the Champions League, Atalanta put one foot into the Europa League semi-finals by beating Liverpool last time out, with Gianluca Scamacca bagging a brace for the visitors and Mario Pasalic also finding the net on their respective returns to England. The two teams are set to lock horns again in next week's second leg, when Jurgen Klopp's side will need to produce another one of their famed fightbacks at the Guas Stadium. But first, La DEA must focus on matters in Serie A. Atalanta recently lost the first leg of their Coppa Italia semi-final against Fiorentina, before suffering a shock 2-1 league loss away to Cagliari, leaving them requiring a comeback of their own in the cup and sitting 6th in the top-flight standings. 8 points off the top 4, though just 5 behind 5th spot, which could ultimately prove enough to secure a cherished Champions League return. Gian Piero Gasparini's men were on course for a point down in Cagliari, following Scamacca's early strike, but still left Sardinia empty-handed. Worryingly for Gasp, the Bergamaschi have won only one of their last 6 league games, having started the second half of the season with 5 successive Serie A victories. Nonetheless, despite being beaten by Bologna last month, his team have won 7 of their last 8 home fixtures in the Italian top flight, scoring at an impressive rate of nearly 3 goals per game. Beaten 1-0 at Stadio Bentegodi in September's reverse fixture, Verona have struggled to get the better of Atalanta in recent times, and they will travel to Lombardy in desperate need of points to swerve Serie A's trapdoor once again. The Scalagers only managed to escape relegation via a tense playoff last year, and Marco Baroni's current squad sit just 1 point above the drop zone following last week's home defeat to Genoa. Though Federico Bonazzoli continued his mid-season revival by opening the scoring, Verona's visitors fought back to snatch maximum points at the Bentegodi, despite having much less of the ball. Bonazzoli may have topped his tally up to 3 Serie A strikes for the season, but with Cyril Ngonge and Milan Juric both departing in January, he has only been outscored by midfielder Michael Folorencio, and Baroni's boys average under 1 goal per game. However, Hellas have at least avoided defeat in 3 of their last 4 away matches, and having also won on 2 of their last 3 visits to Bergamo, precedent is not entirely against them returning home with a point. Team news. Only Italy defender Giorgio Scalvini will certainly miss Monday's game through injury for Atalanta, with a hamstring problem expected to keep the 20-year-old sidelined until next month. Sead Kolasinac is struggling with an adductor issue but could still feature against Verona, though Martin de Roon, who captained La DEA to success in Liverpool, joins Davide Zappacosta in missing out due to suspension. Gian Piero Gasparini otherwise has a full squad available and could rotate his resources ahead of Thursday's big Europa League clash. Gianluca Scamacca has 4 goals in his last 4 games, but may be among several players rested. Meanwhile, Sut Serdar must serve a 1-match ban for the visitors, who could also be missing Juan Cruz again. The latter faces a race against time to make Marco Baroni's squad after a muscular injury. Giangiacomo Magnani could return to the back 4 following suspension, which would most likely see Diego Coppola step aside, but few other changes are expected. Federico Bonazzoli has scored in his last 2 appearances, so should be retained up front, alongside Dutch striker Tijani Noslin. Atalanta BC possible starting lineup: Carnesecchi, Toloi, Hien, Jimsidi, Hatebor, Ederson, Koopmeiners, Ruggieri, Miranchuk, Lookman. De Ketelaere. Hellas Verona possible starting lineup: Montipo, Sentens, Magnani, Davidovic, Cabal, Duda, Folorencio, Suslov, Bonazzoli, Lazovic, Noslin. We say, Atalanta BC 1-0 Hellas Verona. Atalanta have won 8 of their last 11 league matches against Verona, and that trend should continue despite the hosts having one eye on finishing the job against Liverpool. The Scallagers will scrap hard to steal a point, but their lack of firepower means that even one mistake could cost them dearly. Thanks for your watching. Don't forget to click the subscribed button and hit the bell icon for more.